We sit here with former Cowboys tight end Jay Novacek, 6 years with the Cowboys, 5 Pro Bowls, part of that team that won 3 Super Bowl titles in 4 years. You told me in the green room you're shocked by nothing. So you're not shocked by this 6-game suspension?
You know, the way the NFL is going right now, you know, they're really trying to cut down on these players that go out and do some things that are bad. You know, I think that, you know, any time that you have players that have that past experience and past history of doing bad things, you know, that's where the commissioner has been granted all that authority.
Do you think he has too much authority? Because a lot of people think Roger Goodell has way too much authority.
I agree with that, but I also agree that they put that upon him. That the fact that when Ray Rice did that whole deal, that they made sure that somebody had the authority to suspend these players. And if he wouldn't do it, he probably would have been out of there. And they'd find somebody else to be the commissioner and bring them in for them to do it. So he's kind of in a bad place and a bad situation to begin with.
What does it tell you that Jerry Jones was so adamant about not seeing any evidence that would point to domestic violence, but yet the NFL turns around and hits Zeke with 6 games? You
know, Jerry has a very, very good way of talking around things and doing things, but he was very adamant that there wasn't anything. And I think that it's probably something that I believe Jerry a little bit more than I do believe Roger right now. And so hopefully things will be turned around. The appeal will help out the Cowboys more than anything. And I think it should.
What would be your message to Zeke Elliott? What needs to be said to the Cowboys running back, especially after an offseason when all we heard was his name in conjunction with negative stories? You know,
this isn't going to define his career. What defines his career is how he proceeds from here on. Whatever happens, whether this gets completely overturned or a lighter sentence or whatever the situation is, you know, he has the ability, he has this platform now where he can go out and demonstrate, you know, what it is like to be a professional and what it is like to be a professional on the field and off the field.
Jay, Lord knows during your 3-year Super Bowl run and 4-year span, you had a team that was constantly drawing negative press. Several players had negative stories. How does that impact a team? How does Zeke's suspension impact this Cowboys football team?
You know, we had a very, very special team. It didn't matter what happened to us, we were going to overcome it. That takes a very special team, very special individuals to do what we did. I think this hurts the Cowboys, obviously. Anytime something like this does, it'll hurt the Cowboys. They have to not worry about it, go out and not make mistakes, keep healthy, and they're going to be fine.
I got to sneak this one in really quick. I'm getting the wrap. But your one message to Zeke, if you sat in a room right now and you look Zeke dead in the face, you would say what to him?
You know, one of the things that I'd probably say to him is, you know, every human on earth makes mistakes. It's not what that mistake is, but it's how you overcome that mistake. And the things that you can do from here on to be an incredible individual, and people will look up to that more than anything you do on the field.
The words of 3-time Super Bowl champion Jay Novacek.